He who is ignorant of his ignorance is better off than he who is not aware of his ignorance. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks immensely for joining us on yet another edition of your weekly magazine program known as Home News Roundup, where we size up major news making events that have caught the attention of press, men and women all over the National Triangle. Of course, this week, PhD holders took to the street. Doctors of philosophy in the country, Cameroon, took to the Ministry of Higher Education in front of the office of the Minister of State, Minister of Secondary of Higher Education and Chancellor of Academic Orders, Professor Jacques Famdongo. The PhD holders holding placards and chanting the national anthem are demanding that they should be given employment. This at a time when many observers are questioning that should PhD holders be demanding for employment, whereas they should rather be job creators. Then what becomes of those that they are yet to train? We shall be taking you over to Yaoundé to watch those elements that are caught in Yaoundé. And of course, still this week, a lady known as Bokwe Victorine was exhibited to the public. The lady who is noted for having urinated in a traditional dish in Yaoundé known as Okok was shown to the public by the forces of law and order. The lady has, however, pleaded to the nation that she committed an offense and that the nation should forgive her. At a time when the lady says that if the process was rather not meant for the public, that it was because she had issues with her husband and that is why she did that action. She went further to say that the macabre incident was exposed when the phone came to Douala for repairs, and the technician that had to repair the phone brought that video that went viral on social media. We shall be giving you an exclusive interview of the lady in Yaoundé. And of course, still this week, a fire incident is reported to have broke out in the city Douala, precisely in Bonaberi, Douala 4 subdivision of the littoral region. The fire incident is said to have been sparked by an electric disorder that occurred in Bonaberi. As of now, 4 shops have been ruined or rather brought to ashes. The material loss is enormous while no human life was lost. We shall be giving you an exclusive interview of one of the victims who says that the fire that broke out at 9:45 a.m. the firefighting brigade only arrived at 11 a.m. to say that they did not have adequate water to put out the fire. And finally, human bones were discovered in Sokum, that is in Edea, and also lifeless bodies were discovered in Japoma, all in the littoral region. We shall be revisiting some of those high moments that occurred in the nation Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a resume of what caught the attention of press men and women, and most particularly Home TV. We shall be right back. I'm Prince Mokage, Joel in Douala, Cameroon. Stay with us. We are blessed that you joined us in this week's edition of Home News Roundup. Of course, you made the right decision and keep following programs on Home TV. Like we did announce in our lead stories, a fire incident broke out in Bonaberi. Bonaberi is in the Douala 4 subdivision, Vuri division of the littoral region. And of course, from the images that you can watch, the fire that has consumed 4 shops in Bonaberi. The exclusive interview that we got in thanks to staff lady Lafon Yvette, who visited the site. And of course, the fire is reported to have brought down 4 shops, amongst them bars and restaurants. Now, a preliminary report indicates that this fire incident was sparked by an electric disorder. The firefighting brigade appeared very late. The fire broke out, according to interview, at 9:45 a.m. but the firefighting brigade only arrived at 11 a.m. just to tell the people that they did not have adequate water. Let's go get this interview from one of the victims of the firefight, or rather of one of the fire incident. She is an internally displaced person that left Kumba to Susa, and from Susa she relocated to Douala. She spoke to Lafon Yvette.
9 to 10, 9:45. So I reached 9:45 exactly. They said crayfish, I don't something by. As I come back now, they say no, you don't really. I can't see smoke. You don't just that big. I don't do that. And come back. Wait for it. Let them know. They call them since that time. You don't catch from 1, 2, 3 out to this level. No one. No one. See which time now? Already 11 o'clock. Now when they end, I can't talk so much. I don't care, mom. You want to be like when man gave this down.
That is an incident. Many thanks to you, Lafon Yvette, for that early images. Just to say that that incident occurred early this morning. And of course, away from that, we take you over to Yaoundé, in the country's political capital, where a lady was displayed to the public. The lady, as you can see in those images, was displayed to the public by forces of law and order. The angry population almost lynched this lady, if not for the kind intervention of the forces of law and order. And of course, this lady is accused to have urinated and poured in a soup that is in Yaoundé known as okok. And of course, the lady has, however, apologized that it wasn't intentional, and went further to say that she did this action because she had issues with the husband, and she did it only for a plate of food that was meant for the husband and the children. But now, how the video went out, the lady went further to say that her phone got bad, and when the phone came to Douala for repairs, this is how the technician who had the phone brought this video to the limelight. Let's go get an exclusive interview that this lady granted to Home TV and other colleagues in the nation's political capital, where she says that it wasn't intentional, and she's also demanding pardon from Cameroonians and the world at large.
C'est quelque chose que j'ai fait depuis décembre parce que j'étais en colère contre mon mari. Ça n'a rien à y voir avec le commerce. Je reconnais mes erreurs. Donc je demande vraiment pardon à la nation.
And of course, the lady says that she is demanding, that she's extremely sorry, and that let all those who are concerned forgive her, that she was doing that for the husband. But the $1 million question remains, that why will a lady urinate in food that is meant for the public? And of course, that will be one of our major focus today on the program, where we'll be asking the question, roadside eateries, is it a risk for consumers? Away from that, ladies and gentlemen, we take you still to the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where some disgruntled PhD holders, that is doctors of philosophy, were seen at the front of the Ministry of Higher Education. These PhD holders were spotted, as you can see there, they were spotted in front of the Ministry of Higher Education, that is in front of the office of the Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education, Chancellor of Academic Orders, Professor Jacques Famdongo. The PhD holders are saying that they have gone to school, they have had their certificates, PhD, yet they don't have a job. And of course, they went in front of the Ministry of Higher Education, calling on the Minister of Higher Education to give them jobs. If it's possible, Amy Fozong, let's get their reactions, how they were singing the national anthem and also saying that they need jobs.
Notre joie, notre vie, notre l'amour et le grand honneur.
PhD holders in the country Cameroon, they were crowded in front of the Ministry of Higher Education. They are demanding that they should be employed. hope that the minister gets their plea. And just to say that there is a communique that has been signed from the communication department of the Minister of Higher Education. We shall be coming to that communique in its entirety in subsequent editions of this program. And away from that, ladies and gentlemen, we take you over to Edea. Edea is in the littoral region, where precisely in a community known as Sokum. Sokum is a small village, and of course in Sokum, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the lifeless bodies of some individuals. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, these lifeless bodies were discovered in Sokum. Sokum is in Edea, and still in this particular nation, Cameroon, precisely in Japoma, still in the littoral region, there were also lifeless bodies that were spotted. This has sent outcry all over the National Triangle, where many are asking the question, what is it that led to this demise? Investigations are being carried out by the forces of law and order to decipher what actually did not go on right. And of course, we shall be bringing you exclusive reactions, ladies and gentlemen, in subsequent editions of the program. And of course, that is a resume of what caught the attention of press, men and women in the country Cameroon. And of course, talking about our topics of discussion for today, our first topic, we're asking the question, 2025 presidential elections, what is dividing the opposition? Of course, that is our first topic. And our second topic, we shall be looking at roadside eateries, risks for consumers. Rich panel for today. The first person I have is Mr. Kimbang Vitalis. He's of the civil society. Thank you immensely, Mr. Kimbang Vitalis. You have once been here, but our viewers will be asking where you've been.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prince. Thank you to other panelists. It's my pleasure to be here today. I want to react to the first the fire incident in Bonaberi.
Okay.
It is very unfortunate that people don't do their work.
Okay. When you say people don't do their work, who are you referring to?
I'm referring to the firefighter brigade. Because
Okay.
when they come and they give a flimsy excuse that they did not have water, how much are we buying water? Look at the mighty worry that we have down here.
Yeah.
And it cannot take up to 10 minutes from their base to here if they are serious. So that will say that sometimes you see people putting blames on the President of the Republic.
The government.
The government. Whereas people have been given, entrusted with public offices, and they have vehemently refused to do it with love. I don't think that Douala is a place where somebody can say that, can give excuse that we did not have water. I'm sure if we are looking at water and so among all the 10 regions.
What about the timing? They were called at
Yes.
9:45 a.m. and they arrived at 11 a.m.
Yes, it is, which is very bad. If you take from their base to here, if you are serious, cannot take up to 10 minutes.
Of course.
Yeah, that shows the laxity in which people do government jobs. Then secondly, we were talking about the woman who...
the woman who urinates
the food.
They call her the pisseuse.
Yes.
That's what it has been named in French, le pisseuse. That's one of our topics for today.
Okay. Then I think that is also very bad, and I read somewhere where people were blaming the government, and government not doing enough to at least... It is your personal security matters.
Okay.
Government must not do everything for you. It is you to determine where to eat and where not to eat. I don't think that we have to employ police that we go around checking in quarters what people are cooking.
Okay.
It is me who knows what I want to eat and where I want to eat and the type of things I want to eat.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. And of course, we are also in the company of for me. Samuel Fanka, he is the general coordinator of Ideal Solution for Community Communication. He's not a new face on this platform. Time for me, thank you immensely for renewing your confidence on Home TV. And what caught your attention this week?
Thank you so much, Prince Mukage and my co-panelists. We have a nation that all of us have to put our hands to make sure that we carry on our duties well, no matter from where you belong. Because at times people think that it's only those in government that can say things and they are right, of which it is not. And civil societies, associations and organizations.
What caught your attention?
Yes. What caught my attention is the PhD, who they had a strike, and I think the strike action for me is a good message because they were so Republican and they went out peacefully singing the national anthem, meaning they respect our emblem. It caused the attention of the government that the PhD should be a platform should be created for the PhD, so that when they come out, they present their project to the government and they are followed by financing. And because that is one worst thing that is not working in this country. Right. The government don't follow up PhD holders and many other people around. So the financing, they promote the local employment industry, they develop a robust agricultural sector, they provide orientation, career guidance, so that
government
when they
should
come
finance
out,
PhD holders.
when they come out, they now go into the employment market directly without making noise.
We're also in the company of Mr. Mbu Dennis. He's a seasoned educationist. It's the first time he's coming on this platform. Mr. Mbu Dennis, thank you immensely for accepting to be a guest on this platform, Home News Roundup on Home TV.
Thanks so much, Prince Joel Mukanje, who has once been my
classmate.
My classmate in opposite.
Of course, we did A1 together.
Eh? Reading A1 together. And I'm so much happy, being delighted to be invited to attend this program of Home TV today.
Okay. How do we explain, as an educationist that you are, how do we explain that people study right up to the level of PhD, they back doctorate, they go and strike to be given jobs? Does it not send a negative signal to children who are still in primary and secondary school that maybe the educational system in Cameroon is a failure?
Back in our days, we knew that those who were suffering are those that didn't like go to school. But nowadays, it's the contrary. Because somebody having at least 6 different certificates without having a job is something so pathetic, and it's something so discouraging.
Okay.
Because studying from nursery right up to the PhD level is not an easy task. I know studying a PhD is not like you are just going there for going sake. You have what you are reading, and we know that in our country we have the various domains in which most of these guys having those PhDs, after they must have completed their studies, they should have been placed where they belong. They should have been placed in their various domains.
PhD holders ask for jobs? Should they not be job creators?
To an extent, there are some of these guys that are there because they are relying on the government, and there are some of them that they are there that they don't even need to ask the government to do something for them, because already there, they already know what they are looking for. And that's why I went to school. That I have some of those in my community that are PhD holders that you will never see one of them moving up to you to ask something, because normally, before even attending where they are, they already had what they are doing, not necessarily looking for the government. That of the government should come to them as a surprise.
Or as a bonus?
Yes.
All right. You want to say
something? Yes, I want to say something. There's no law in the country that says that when you have a PhD degree, they should give you a job.
Okay.
I think that when you are going to school, you must have a target. I was talking with a friend who is doing a PhD program on the traditional setup, the fandoms in Wimbom clan. Case study, he said, we are clan. I was asking him, after I studied, are you going to open a palace? Or what is the essence of that research topic? Because you should do something that can help you. If you go and have a degree in history, where's an history office in this country? So you should study something that is going to help you tomorrow. Don't go and study things that are irrelevant and you blame the government.
Okay.
Some of us cannot go to that level because at the end, we're almost discovering that going to that level, we're going to make us very irrelevant, and we are going to be slaves to the government. Because when you discover that those who have PhD in this country, they are slaves to the government. Because their only hope is that government will employ me. If government don't employ them, they become useless. So I think that people should, when you are going to school, even government does not orientate. Yes, okay. You should do something that can help you tomorrow.
Time for me briefly. Should we say too that the problem is maybe the thesis, that people just get up and choose any topic like what he's saying, and at times you get topics that are not even realistic. You get topics, all you want is they should refer to you in the quarter as a doctor. I have a PhD, but now in the field, how pragmatic is the PhD?
I really agree with my co-panelist, what he's saying, because some of the things going wrong in this nation, not only with PhD, is orientation. Okay. Their orientation offices that at least they should at time open up to the public and tell them what is right. As now robots are in the market.
Tell for me, I'm coming. Let me reorientate you.
Yes.
Now, for you to get to the level of PhD, you must have had a first degree and a master's.
Exactly.
Should you be oriented after a master's degree?
Orientation never ends. Okay, that's why you have, when you have even the president of the republic, there are advisors around him.
Okay.
So orientation never ends. So what I'm saying here is that when you are doing something, choose what is the job is in the job market. That is what, when you come out, you do it, and it will help the community, it will help the nation, it will help everybody. But what is wrong here is that they would have presented a project to the government, and the government should also create a platform for financing PhD holders.
Okay.
That when you present your project and they see the stability, the sustainability in the community, they finance it. Okay. Then it begins to bring in resources, finances, and at a certain level, you see that even they borrow, you loan the money, you'll be paying back gradually. Okay. So that the problem of the government is here because they don't finance anything.
Thinks that there is nothing about the government. But away from that, let's get to
financing.
It depends the type of thing you are doing.
That is what I'm saying.
For example,
they present a project.
Somebody who goes and is studying the Mongaka language.
No,
as
that one.
Then the other one giving that the relevant on vet.
They should study things that are relevant.
The government is sponsoring that type of project. That what is that project going to? What is the project going to get?
Something that is useful for the community or the nation that can make Cameroonians be competitive with other.
But we have seen people that have gone up to master's degree and they have presented agricultural projects, and government has supported them.
That's what I'm saying. Because in
for me, let's get to a major topic for today. That was just a roundtable discussion of what occurred and caught the attention of pressmen and women this week. Our first topic for today, ladies and gentlemen, 2025 presidential elections. Mr. Kimbang Vitalis, what is dividing the opposition? Can the opposition not form one and fight the CPDM? That is a strong political party.
Fortunately, I'm a militant of the CPDM.
Okay, you're a militant?
A militant of CPDM.
Okay, I like that.
Yes, because for now, I've studied most of the political parties and I've discovered that they don't have anything for the public.
Okay. And
when you look at most of the political parties in this country, one of the major things that's dividing is what? Ethnicity. You know that when you talk about SDF, you talk about the Anglophones.
Okay.
When you talk about Maurice Kamto, MSC, you talk about the Bamili case.
Okay.
And so when political parties are so segmented in this way, there's no way that they can unite. You know, we are dealing with a political, we're in the political atmosphere that is, majority of people are illiterate. They don't even understand the politics. They think that politics is, I'm going to vote my brother. No matter whether my brother is competent or not, since I'm from the Northwest, I must vote SDF. Since I'm from the West, I must vote Maurice Kamto.
Okay.
So we look at it now. That's one of the factors that's dividing the opposition. Then secondly, there's this selfish nature. Nobody wants to be like, they always like to come together, but who are they going to put as their leader? Okay. If they are forming an alliance, who is going to be leader? So that selfish nature of everybody wanting to be like, I want to be the Messiah that rescued Cameroon from the hands of President Paul Biya. So that's one thing that's dividing them. Then self-interest.
Okay.
People they don't even look at the interest. Most of the political parties, they don't even have the interest of the population at heart. Okay. They just have their own interest, and they just want to achieve. Then when you look at internal problems within the party, for example, like you see the SDF now, the SDF has internal struggles.
Squabbles.
Yes.
There's something that's circulating on social media that 147 militants of the SDF have backed out from Joshua.
Although somebody was saying that it's fake. Then there was also something of this issue of saying that for you to go in for election, you have to bring 50 million. How many people are in the SDF that can bring 50 million to stand for the primaries? That already shows you that the SDF is already governed by a dictator. Because he knows that the people that are in the SDF, they cannot afford
raise
that money.
50 million.
And the time frame that he has given for them to raise that money is not easy. So those are some of those things that are dividing the opposition in Cameroon. Then we also have what we call the political agenda. all of them, some of them don't have their political agendas. They are not unified.
Okay.
Because some people, when we look at the form of state, some people are for federation, some people are for decentralization, some people are for a unity state, and all these three ideologies, you can never merge them together. So they don't have a common, unified, defined road that they can combat the CPDM.
Okay.
By so doing, it has given the CPDM the route. And most of that, some of those parties are just strong. Just meet them in towns. If you go to places like Ako and some other places like Nwa, and even in Kambe, if you go and talk about MSC, people will be surprised. People don't know.
Okay.
Yes. So they have not done the groundwork in such a way that people are aware of them.
All right.
So making unity for them now, and they are also, one of the major things is that they are always crying that the government is sponsoring some political parties to destabilize the opposition. If you people know that government is sponsoring some political parties to destabilize the opposition, the major political parties, those that are well known, they should have come to, if they have the love of the nation at heart, they should have come together and see that, okay, this is how we can combat the CPDM. Okay. Because some of them, they sit and say, no, we don't want President Paul Biya to stand again. We don't want, actually our promise is not be President Paul Biya standing or not. When we were going for World Cup in 1990, Roger Milla was one of the oldest players. Or let's say Maradona was the best striker in the world. Cameroon did not say that, no, we will not play because Maradona is there. Okay. But Cameroon came up with a strategy that defeated Argentina. So they should not like looking at President Paul Biya,
whether it's old or young.
Yeah, or young, but looking at the strategy that they can use to
remove him from
power.
Therefore, Mr. Samuel Fanka, Mr. Kimbang, vitalist of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the CPDM, thinks that what is dividing the opposition is, one, they don't have a clear agenda, two, egocentrism, and the fact that instead of spending time seeing how they can kick the head of state, they rather waste their energy fighting each other. What is dividing the opposition in your own opinion?
Yeah, I think the presidential elections for 2025 is a pivotal moment for Cameroonians and political class to see how to look into things, because there is a lot of interest, fighting interest, self-interest, and so other things that our opposition parties depend on. What I would say about the ideology of split in the political parties is some other political parties depend on subsidies, and they don't take the interest of Cameroonians at heart. Okay. Because if really they thought that they are out to rule people or to work hand in glove with the government, I think they would have like be coming out proposing. But when they come, they just say the only word is one change. Okay. And that type of change, is it like manners? It's not manners. Change is not manners. But I will also see with my fellow brother who is seated in front of me, and my brother, you said most of the political parties don't have a clear agenda, right? Yeah. That's okay, meaning, you mean even the CPDM don't have a clear agenda for the Cameroonians. So,
what I'm saying that the CPDM has?
Listen, he said something that most of the political parties...
Is the CPDM inclusive?
That's what I want.
We have an agenda, that's why I'm in the CPDM.
Okay, you disclose it to Cameroonians.
So that's what he's saying, that he's in the CPDM because they have an agenda.
Okay, he should better disclose it today so that Cameroonians should hear.
He has said
because as from now, when you see what the opposition political parties are doing, it seems as if they are contented with, this is my party. And when this one will clear, this is my own party, as churches are out there, so many. So what we are guiding is that let people understand the need of the population and work towards that problem solving and solutions oriented. Because if we just want to look around or self-centered, I'm surprised. Because in 2018, we had an influencing political party, CRM, of Professor Maurice Kamto, who at the end claimed victory. As a professor in law, I thought he would have been the first person to have congratulated the winner, who was President Paul Biya. What touched my mind again was in 2020 when he refused to come to go for
municipal and legislative
elections, knowing fully that those are the roots, those are the tap roots of putting a political party firm on the ground. So now when you look, there are some names of parties that are coming up and they are so segmented. You see, one is driving to go this way, the other one that way, but we call on them, people should sit down and take notes, because at least allow civil society to talk to you. And what
is that what is dividing them? So they should take notes from you?
They should take notes that they should put the interest of the population first, because they should allow their come out of their self-centeredness and look the interest of the population. That is why what is disturbing them, because they are self-centered.
And of course, just to say that the numbers that you have on your screen, you can call us directly and give your own contribution. What you think is separating opposition political parties, or what is making opposition political parties not to be united. You can also leave us a text message on that same number, wherever you're watching. And of course, we're going to read the text. Mr. Mbudenis, how do we explain? What do you think can unify the opposition political parties? We remember that in 2018, during the presidential elections, we saw there was rumors that the SDF, the CRM, the party Univer by then of Mukumvondo, under which Cabral Libi ran, they had plans of coming together, but at the end of the day, who to lead was a problem, and of such, the coalition failed. What, in your own opinion, is dividing the opposition in Cameroon?
Yes, most of the points I'm going to outline here are points that most of my co-panelists have already said already.
Okay.
And I'm going to start by saying that if most of these are opposition parties, they are not in good terms, or they are not like trying to abide with each other when it comes to ideologies, it's saying because is that issue of lack of trust. Even when I talk about lack of trust, it simply means that there are some of these parties that are going to the presidential elections, or the opposition parties that are co-linked with the CBDM. Okay. Some of them know that we are just there. We know that after this, our votes are going to be sold to this person. Yes, that's one of the things that brings about that separation in between them. Now, when it comes to ideologies, the way they reason out things, this way, since I'm from Northwest, I would rather prefer maybe to just focus on my people of Northwest. I know this issue of, I would say, tribalism. Some people will say that, some will say that I would prefer better to vote for somebody who is from my place. This one will say this. So you see those controversial ideologies. And just to add of this issue of SDF, the squabbles found in the SDF, that the President-elect said that if you want to contest with me to be as the president, for the president, you need to chip in the sum of 50 million.
Yeah.
If you hear him using those type of words, because normally in that party, he doesn't have people that could
raise 50
million, because he said you raise 50 million unrefundable. It don't mean what you are giving that money if you lost. It's just like playing chess, that you are putting an amount of money in such a way that you should know that if it happens that you are not being elected, the money will not be given back to you. And now in our country, from the way the country is, the way things are unfolding, isn't good for the ICC. Now, who can take that lion heart to take the bull by the horn to raise the sum of 50 million to go and put in that type of thing? There's nobody, sir. There's nobody. Okay. Now, talking about also this issue of some parties or some political parties not taking the masses into consideration. I know most of these our leaders of the opposition party, they have various technical advisors. Most of them, they are mostly there with the population. They always say that this is what we need, this is what we need, this is what we need, this is what we need. And if you as an opposition leader having a technical advisor who always walk up to you to tell you that this is what the population wants, and at the tail end, all of us, we know the way Cameroon is all about. We want to first of all
feed the stomach
that brought up the idea before even look at them, and that's what it's called. That most of them now, when the group, who should we put at first?
Okay. Let's take this first caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Studio.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm called Evaristus. Commonly known Dr. Checkpoint Boya.
Where you're calling from?
Boya.
From Boya. Evaristo says Boya today.
Yeah, very. In fact, we just tight. We're just tied up with the military, just locked in the roads. They were not means to circulation. They were just tight.
Okay, because of the mountain race.
I'm telling you, it was just unbearable.
What
So
to?
on the topic, on the topic on the floor, you know, last time they talked about, there was a year that they talked about coalition. The opposition came from the Italia coalition. And they finally realized that the CPDM could not even give them that chance to even say that they can succeed with the ideas.
Okay.
So I think if you go a long way, you see that the opposition already they knew, no matter the political system, they knew that the present government, the ruling government, CPDM, they can never defeat it through election. They knew it well because they have tried every other systems, but they know that they couldn't succeed. So I think the major problem, their interest is just to come at least and take their own small percentage that they can help their party and the people around them.
Okay.
So that's what makes them, they cannot come out with an idea. If you look at this well,
All right.
that's how it.
Thank you.
Sir.
You want to react, Vivi? Yeah. He says that some people, because normally there is this thing that occurs from what he's saying, he's calling from Boya. Normally, all of us will agree that there is a caution that is given to parties for you to do campaigns. So some opposition political parties at times enter into it. But then it's like a business. You invest 10 million and they give you 5 million. That's they give you 15 million to go and do campaigns. You want to react to him?
I want to react. When people say that opposition cannot win President Paul Biya, see, if elections are conducted in this country free and fair with transparent boxes, CPDM will win hands down. Let me give you the mathematics of it. If you go by the number of people that have registered, you discover that out of the 7 million or 8 million people who have registered, we have around 3 million faithful CPDM militants that have registered and they will vote.
Okay.
You will discover that in each and every village, there is a CPDM there, a leader who is representing CPDM there.
Okay.
Now, if at the end of it all, because I know what Cameroonians are, because they always say, no, we will not vote because even we vote, President Paul Biya will still steal the election. No. At the end of it all, if 7 million people vote, you discover out of these 7 million, 4 million are die-hard CPDM. And the rest of the 3 million votes will be shared to the numerous political parties. That one at the end of it all now, you see that political parties have been 0.00 this, 0.00 this. But what I always advise that let people should vote, people register massively and vote massively. That's when now they can accuse the CPD of stealing their victory.
All right.
You don't register, you don't vote, and you are the one crying the loudest.
Most of the civil servants here in Cameroon, they are all CPDM members, because when you join that, when you are being employed as a civil servant, you don't join that race. Just know that your promotion is going to be very different.
My brother, I don't think that on the day of voting, people they will go and stand there with the whip to see whether you are a civil servant to vote for CPDM or to vote for opposition. Voting is secret.
Okay.
I can pretend to be a CPDM on that day I vote.
It will show.
It will not show.
We have those guys that have machines like that. If you want to detect you, they will detect you.
No.
Monsieur Mboudenis, you were rounding off your point. You were talking about the division amongst the opposition political party before our man called from Boya, and he thinks that the CPDM itself is not helping matters.
Yes, as I was saying, I said that to an extent we're going to discover that some of these opposition leaders at times they want to first of all fight for their stomach before any other thing. As we rightly said here, before any campaign, normally there's a certain amount of money that is being given to those that is always given to those opposition parties. And now, at times, those guys always work as if they're economics. The more you chip in money, the more they also give you back what you have. So you're going to discover that work with the idea that most of these political leaders, they have taken this, most of these opposition leaders, they have taken this issue of caution to be as business. that's at one extent, that's what makes some of them to like, let me first of all just regain what I've spent. And maybe the smaller one now cannot see whether how can do. Maybe some even call some of their militants come and see maybe in some beer parlors. You squander the rest.
Okay. That for me, Fanka, this is my question before you say what you want to say. Most political parties will blame, most particularly opposition, will blame the CPDM for stealing votes, whereas most political parties in Cameroon, opposition, are seen only during elections. Many persons will be asking that, where are these opposition political parties after elections? You only see them during elections, and once elections are done, we're waiting for them till another elections come on. Whereas the CPDM, their militants, like Mr. Kimba will tell you that they work day in, day out, whether the elections or not.
There is this mechanism that is put in place by the regime.
Okay.
That if you are a civil servant, you must belong to the regime. And this has been happening. Many people have suffered the effect that if you are with the opposition, they will send you to suburbs where you will suffer and suffer. And this has been seen. Mesenga Nyamding suffered such a thing. And let me call just only one figurehead that suffered such a thing. Meaning in other nations, civil servants have the free hand to choose their parties. But why is it that Cameroonians at the 21st century still remain at that stage of the dark ages? That is something that we don't supposed to look. We're supposed to look into it seriously. I think Mr. Prince Joel Mokage, I'm presenting this point today to Cameroonians because let us say things the way they are. We should allow a liberal political arena for Cameroonians to express themselves. Okay. If Cameroon don't come to the level of being either the left or the right, as our colonial master, the French, France, or the Republicans and the Democrats, nothing can ever change because many of these political parties have fertilized the regime. Okay. Imagine what happened in 2020, as I said. CRM never went in for
municipal and legislative
election. It gave the upper hand to the CPTM. And the same thing was done with SDF in the days of Ni John Fundi. I think you see. But what I will appreciate of our late father Ni John Fundi is that he gave some proposals.
Good day, good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, you see the doctor in Checkpoint, Moliko Boy, Evaristus.
Go on, Evaristus.
Ask, is this a V as if our holiday the spokesperson this time around?
Right on.
Yeah, just what the CPD militant just mentioned about the election, that the civil can vote any other party for his choice, not to be done. I don't believe so. He's just talking because he's just talking for talking fact. You know that there is a time where you vote as a CPD or as a civil servant. You have to bring some of those cards. They will force you to bring some particular card, showing that you didn't vote that card, that vote not the CPD. To present outside, we can live up your job.
Let him react.
So, my dear brother, there's nothing that can be hidden. On the borderline like this, the sun is shining everywhere on everybody's transparency. So I don't think that I consider the CPD, all of us know that they can never defeat it through ballot box. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kimba Vitalis. Mr. Kimba react. He says that the CPDM can never win through the ballot box, and that many a time those of you of the CPDM will even go and vote. You bring out the other cards of the opposition to show proof that you actually voted your president of your party, President Paul Biya.
If I love change as a Cameroonian, I go to that place where they are voting. There are so many of those papers there that are waste papers. I can still vote for opposition, then I pick those one from the basket and come and give. People don't have the love for this country. All of us, we are just pretending. People are just pretending.
Okay.
Like say, because when I go to when I move to drinking spot, I ask people, have you registered? What the theme is that I don't register again because CPDM will take election. And when the elections are conducted and CPDM wins, these people that did not register, these people that did not vote, they'll be the one that cry the loudest.
Okay.
Cameroon, the change can come through the ballot box, clean and clear.
Right.
If the opposition they do their work, You have said here, we have said here that most opposition they just go and register because they want to collect money from election money. If you go and register because you want to collect money, election money, should we not blame the CBDM?
No, they vote them.
Should we not blame the CBDM?
They vote them.
The elections have witnessed a situation whereby in the legislature they do. During elections, when they were counting the ballot box,
Yes.
it seemed as if those guys always play some tricks within you.
Within you?
Yeah, when they see the light, bam!
They seize the light.
The policemen came in there with their vehicle, everything changed.
Okay.
When they came and went
something.
out, we saw election on the board, everything had changed.
Okay.
And nobody, you couldn't open your mouth. They were there last time, look, you just imagine just when you have.
Time for me?
Yes. There is something I would like Cameroonians to understand that when we see great nations today, they have changed not just because of elections or voting strategies, but because they have robust associations and civil societies and stakeholders. So, seeing what is happening in Cameroon, stakeholders have to revisit their minds, and civil societies have to go on with robust strategies. Because when you see Ghana was fixed by associations and civil societies, stakeholders. You see like Kenya, the same. Rwanda, the same. Canada, that people are selling things and going there today, the same. Denmark, Chile, Liberia. No, so when you see places where they are Messiah leaders, they just come in a way and begin to do things. What we are preparing Cameroon today is that people should register. Go and register, vote. When you vote, it doesn't end there. Okay. We wait to congratulate the person that will win. Then again, on the other side, we hold our leaders accountable. Okay. This is what has been making our nation to be lagging, because over 65 years, we have never heard one leader accountable.
All right. We have just been joined by Mr. Kwinzi Line. He is a member of the Alliance Forces, or the Alliance of Progressive Forces. That's the AFP political party of President Cyril Mbaka. Mr. Kwinzi Line, thank you for joining us. Though very late, I'm sure traffic.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for the viewers.
Okay.
I greet the panels, and I could not avoid, or I could not stop to be here to share our political realities in Cameroon. So,
to you, you are a member of the AFD political party. What is stopping your party of Cyril Mbaka from going to join other political parties like the SDF, the CRM? What, in your opinion, is stopping political parties from forming a solid opposition?
yeah, that's the actual thorough question in Cameroon, in the political arena. Leaders, some of leaders have declared themselves to stand for the coming elections. And I can best tell you that President Mbaka is one of those leaders who are working behind the platform to see how all those people, all those leaders can come together, form a union, and bring in a unique candidate.
Okay, Mbaka is working towards that?
Mbaka is working towards that.
Okay.
He did some proposition. He met with some leaders.
I saw him with the Limbi Lobe and
Yes,
Esi
before
Ekane
the Limbi Lobe
and
Esi
Rete
Ekane.
Kwe.
He has been doing that all along his mandate as a president of IFP. So it's our wish, and we hope that those leaders will actually listen to the call, because we know the people in front, the CPDM ruling party, they are actually into their demonstration of fraud.
Okay.
Everything is being put in place for Mr. Bia, be it he's alive or dead, to continue to rule Cameroon.
Okay.
So at this junction, I think it's a call for Cameroonians to prophesy this time around for a unique candidacy that will face the CPDM and that will send Bia to his normal retirement.
What will you tell those who think that the AFP political party will want to, of course, join a unique opposition because he has a very little following?
The issue here is not to have followers. The issue, Cameroon is our concern. It's our common concern. If I'm a Cameroonian, I will not limit myself to a simple political party. At this junction, I think the call here is to talk to Cameroonians. It's not to talk to militants of political party.
Okay.
So the address is actually to tell Cameroonians that the time is urgent. We have no time. So the call is to put ourselves together, quench our differences, and look into one direction towards A2D. Because what we are facing today, the Cameroon of today has gone backwards the year 60.
Okay.
So we cannot continue to live in an environment where nothing is actually possible. No development, no dreams, people are dying on the sea. So it's illegible, the call is illegible, the reasons are there. Above political parties, we need to look ourselves eye to eye and do what is right to move this ruling party from power and send them to retire. Let them sit and watch how Cameroon will be well constructed.
Mr. Mudinis, how do we get the opposition political parties, Cameroonians, to reason as one man, to form a single ballot paper so that the day of the elections, it is the CPDM against a unique opposition political party?
I think that for such a thing to happen, what an Englishman calls restitution, those guys need to go back to, some of these opposition leaders need to go back to when they were being baptized in the church, that they took an oath to tell the Almighty God that I will learn to speak only the truth and let this truth reign. If they can have their gathering the way they always call on them to sit down and talk, looking each other face to face, without hiding some certain type of things. And just want to say that I won't lie to you, I'm this particular party, but I'm one of alliance with the CBN. From today I'm going to stop. Everybody putting all the cards on the table, speaking the truth. Okay, let's just say for instance, when you see some of these clergy from the Roman Catholic who came out, the father,
like the Bishop of Yagua,
all those type of things.
The Archbishop of Douala, Monsignor Cleda.
You don't think those people they are fools? They are not fools. There are some of those that normally they have been having several sittings with the President of the Republic, that they always give him some pieces of advice. If the President have a technical advisor, they always tell him that, please, this is what we want to do. And you saw it just when he declared that he's going for the 2025 elections. You saw the way they reacted. Even in some of their churches, they were that mad at it onto in the pulpit. Do you know the meaning of you being in the pulpit and preaching and sometimes preaching politics, preaching against politics or the bad government of your country? It's not everybody that can take that nonsense. So when the day that those guys are going to think that this time for us to change Cameroon, they will have their gathering, they will have one and same reasoning faculty, they will change, or they should be able to clean all their minds, to be able to do what is going to be good for eyes to see. Because as of now, all what we are doing here is just I had my back, I'm hiding somewhere. At times the president himself, when we look at him, we are going to discover that he's that somebody he's tired, he needs to have his rest. But those with him he's working with, they don't want him to rest because they know that if he resigns, most of those dubious ideas that have been carried out are going to be exposed. And most of them are going to jail.
You want to react?
Yes. I'm not in the CPDM because CPDM is the best party.
Are you there to chop?
No, not to chop. Because I've looked at the political setup in Cameroon. And we cannot have a country of 30 million. And we have 368 political parties. For example, like the party of my brother, this is my first time hearing it.
You don't know of the AFP?
I've never heard of it before.
President Siri Sambaka?
Yeah, I've not heard of it. Because you cannot expect my head to keep 300.
You know Benamuna?
You cannot expect my head to keep 300.
I've never heard of Benamuna.
It was a party of Benamuna.
368 political parties in my head. It will not go. What is all what we are saying here? We are speaking as if there are some group of angels standing somewhere that when the CPDM will go, they will just come now and take over Cameroon, and Cameroon will be an El Dorado.
That's not what we are saying.
Of course. Why not?
No, There must
We're
be
optimism.
there must be a change of mentality. If you see what is happening with the opposition parties today, you see that they don't even have the interest of the population at heart. Because if they had the population the interest at heart, they will not go as far as creating 368 political parties to represent 30 million people. And if you look at the fighting in most of the political parties, most of the political parties, when they come to platform like this one, they don't present us what they have. They keep on insulting President Paul Biya. Our problem is not to insult President Paul Biya. Our problem is to present your agenda to us that this is what we are going to do that can move this country ahead. But what most of them do is that they come and they sit and say, Paul Biya is a thief, there's corruption. We all know those things. What are we going to do to solve those problems? That's what Cameroonians are interested in.
Is to take away power from him.
It's not a matter of taking power.
You were reacting. This is my question to you. This is my question to you. Seemingly Cameroonians are somehow fed up with the system of government of your chairman. We saw the Secretary of State, as Minister of State, Secretary General of the Presidency, Ferdinand Gongo, who was in the Far North region, and instead of spending his normal 4 hours I was spent, or the 24 hours I was spent, he spent 29 hours because the people kept him on a tight seat that nothing is moving in Cameroon, and most particularly in the Far North region.
Yes, I will not.
Is it not time for your party to bring in a younger
I
blood?
will not say that the people were wrong.
Okay.
There are people that during elections, the population vote wrong persons. If you look at the development that is taking place in Cambe today and Tonga Mantum as a whole, Tonga Mantum is like an ideal island as far as Cameroon is concerned. Why? Because we went and choose the right people that went to the parliament and the rest, and they are representing us, and they are doing the right thing. But if you go and they give you maybe drinks and you drink, and you choose the wrong persons, you don't have to blame the central government. I don't think that if Ferdinand Gongo is going to come today, was going to Misaje today, or is going to Mwa today, the elite will block him.
Going to do?
He's going to do. The elite will block him not to see the population. Because what he's going to see there is the reality. Okay. But why the Northerners were blocking Gongo? Because they have been telling the population lies. Okay. And so they thought that now that the master is coming, he's going to know the truth.
Show him the truth.
Yeah, so now they have to block him from not seeing the population.
Okay.
I have something to say. To add. Thank you, my co-panelists, of talking about the victories of your party. I would like to tell you that the central power at the 21st century is wrong.
Okay.
Very wrong. You people presented a decentralized structure of the government. Yet, years after, nothing is being done. Okay. What I want to make us understand that if that decentralization was working perfectly, somebody not supposed to leave Yaoundé to go to north and solve problems. The problems will be solved within the area, and that is what Cameroonians want. Okay. And that is what our municipalities should be they are giving their powers to the grassroots. Why are you people refusing with the powers in Yaoundé? Leave that power to the grassroots, and you will see development everywhere. All right. That is why you see PhD are out acting the way they're acting, and they're insulting them. Imagine that there is decentralization, 360 municipal councils are booming. All the people, they will need workers. They will need people that will boom their areas. That thing of Yaoundé, what is happening?
That for me?
We have to go beyond realities.
You are leaving away the topic. How do we get the opposition political parties to form one single...
The political opposition parties, we cannot be... We are of the colonial master, our colonial master, which is the French. They have the right and the left. Okay. But looking into politics, we come and do it differently from them. It is wrong. And in America, we have the Republicans and the Democrats.
Of course.
And we should emulate such a system. That is when at least we can be talking of things that will boom. And if not, the only thing that can bring change in Cameroon is associations, organizations.
Just like the ISCC.
Or just like the ISCC, because we do it on no interest. We just want to see people smile and do things.
Mr. Nkwaintilai, how do we get all opposition political parties to think as one man?
You should call for leaders to talk to themselves.
The leaders.
The leaders should talk to themselves. Okay. I appreciate
the point raised by Tam for me.
No, I mean the social civil society.
Yes.
I think there's a huge call, it's a huge task for the civil society to put themselves into this contribution, into this cycle of speech, to call for leaders, to look into one and the same project, and the project should be the welfare of Cameroonians.
Okay.
It's true, the CPDM may be so proud to present what they have done to Cameroon, but we can all best testify that in Africa, let's just say in Central Africa, Cameroon is nowhere to be found.
It's true.
In terms of development,
a Cameroonian of today,
It's nothing.
a Cameroonian of today, below 40 or below 50, cannot sit and applaud a regime that make us to live like we're like strangers,
beggars.
we're like beggars in our own self country. So that's why I said it's not a matter of philosophy, education, or diplomas. It's a matter of realities.
okay.
We're undergoing what other countries, and that's even the worst, other countries are mocking at us. When they are looking at Cameroon, there's always the question that comes out. There is no citizen in Cameroon who can take over and put back Cameroon on its standard
How do
position.
we bring people along to take over?
So
That was my question.
it's to call for leaders to look into one direction. I'm very optimistic.
All right.
I know it's possible.
Okay.
I know the citizens themselves, the voters, they can create a movement which will condition those leaders. If they cannot stand one, therefore, Cameroon will be the way it will be. But without the
Mr. Mbu, Denise, how do we bring all the opposition political parties to reason as one man to fight the lion or the elephant of politics in Cameroon as the CPDM?
As I earlier said that for these opposition parties to come back together, to come and sit, to be able to think together so as to remove our power from the chair. One thing that I said was about the commitment that they took when they were being baptized.
Okay.
Whether it be the father, whether it be the reverend pastor, they need to come back and sit and rethink, flashback, rethink what they took on the altar. Now, you know, most of them, it won't be all that easy for them to just come and sit and say and maybe like to come back to their normalcy, because some of them are being fed by the ruling party.
Okay.
I know when you know somebody is the one taking good care of you, you cannot do that.
He who pays the piper dictates it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me read up to my brother first.
Mr. Nkwai?
Yes, Mr. Nkwai will present Cameroon as the worst nation in Central Africa, which is very wrong.
Okay.
If you look at the number of foreigners that are in Cameroon, you discover that Cameroon for them is their El Dorado.
How much how many
if
strangers are in Cameroon?
If you look at the number of bike riders that are foreigners here,
That's what you have.
Let me
Let
tell you
that your president has
Is
brought
that
Cameroon.
Malians,
It is the employment that your president has brought Cameroonians, bike riders,
Senegalese.
It's a shame.
the Senegalese.
What country employment you are talking of
People
bike
are
riders?
building
What is that?
tramway.
Why are they
in
here?
their country.
Don't talk about
If
that.
their country was better,
No.
if their
Don't
country
talk about bike riders here.
if their countries were better than, if their countries were better than Cameroon,
That's
they
not
would
something to measure
If their countries,
over
if
television.
their countries were better
You
than
accept
Cameroon,
such
they
a
would not
thing?
be
They are
here.
working for their
Is that-
country
if
too.
their
Is that an
countries-
employment?
It's employment.
Bike
They are
riders
making
are
money.
not an employment.
They are making money.
That is nothing.
They are making money.
what the
Don't
CPDM
mention
does.
that. They are making money.
So are you
No.
going to be proud?
That's the
You
legacy
are
the
proud of
CPDM
it.
is actually
Yeah,
giving to
proud
Is
of
that
it.
the legacy?
And
Is that the legacy?
if they are not there, how will I came here by bike. If they are not there, how will I come here?
My brother,
Yes, I
that's
came here by
something
bike.
not to measure
Those people
on
are
TV.
doing back riding because
They
that's
for
the
you
last
people
resort. They don't have
All right.
There's no right. So we have bike riders
terrible.
here.
The most intelligent
Go
ones cannot
around-
come to Cameroon.
Go around.
They will be
Douala
exploited
here.
to their country to
Go around
develop their
Douala,
country.
go around Douala
What's
here.
so far?
You see bike riders. You see cafeteria mostly owned by
Those are the legacy.
Malian, and they are making a
We
lot
should
of millions.
we should
No,
applaud
these
for
people
that.
who are doing Ferrari, they are making a lot of millions.
My goodness.
And there are so
Look at the
many.
type of
That's
job you are
dangerous,
counting.
All
Okay,
right.
are there
Thank
no
you.
jobs?
There
Are
no
people not
jobs.
making living
What
out
are
of
the
it?
jobs that CPDM have
we
created
have-
for Cameroonians?
The-
They are
that
not
is-
jobs.
All right.
Do you
That is the-
Do you
that's-
know
that's
how
the-
much value
that is the error-
those
that's the error
jobs
some
give
of us are-
to
that's the error some of us are
our
making.
national?
That is the error. That no people
custom.
see. I know. I have an example. There is a girl who is working at Ansero. I will not call her name for the publicity's sake. She was a government secondary school teacher. She resigned from it and she's doing hairdressing at Anse Road, and she's making a lot of money.
Do you know
she
that
don't seek for government
there
to
are
do
some
it for her.
tractors? There are some tractors somewhere.
What the benefits of our economy is taken from that?
There are some tractors.
She discovered that
What are
the
the
talent that she
benefits?
has can benefit her more than what the government can give to her.
It's not like that at times. It's
Yes,
because
there is something that we don't know.
And she's making a lot of money there.
That's the
She's
legacy
making
of
even
CPTM.
20
That's
times
what
more
this
than the money
party
she's
needs
making. She was making.
There are some tractors in the bush
But we are just seeking
that they have not removed it
we
to
just
help
feel that
farmers
we
with
just
it.
feel that government should
What
give
are you
us
doing with those
everything.
tractors in the
If you
bush?
look at some of these
Thank
story
you.
buildings in Douala and Yaoundé and the rest, they are not government teachers, sir. They are not government. They are not civil servants.
Most of them
They
are
work for
government
it.
workers.
All right.
They work for it.
They are government.
Okay.
How many government? How many civil
All right,
servants
all
have
right.
story
Let's take
buildings?
this last caller. And then
Except
we'll
those who
come
have
back.
By the time we come.
Hello?
There's something.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome.
Yeah, it's doctor in checkpoint.
Yes, yes, welcome.
Yeah, as concerned the citizen militant, it's okay. That man, I think that man is just out to make those panelists to just be quarreling in the studio there for nothing.
Okay.
And the man already really knew what he's talking about. The man know what he's doing because, for the CPDM today, all of us know it, then he's laughing. The man is really laughing because when he grew to his palo, he would say that he said, we'll go and take a very cold 1 liter of water and drink. That no, I did it. CPDM today, when we talk of CPDM, we first of all put the CPDM government to take power. The question is that there was a year that the Operation Power Coalition that they joined together and defeat the CPDM government to power. What happened that year? You can't accept that question. And secondly, the CPDM don't really have the Cameroon at heart. He mentioned it there that Operation don't have Cameroon at heart.
All right.
So they need to understand that the CPDM them don't have Cameroon at heart.
All right. You're wrapping up. He says that the CPDN does not have Cameroonians at heart.
It's true.
That's what he said.
It's true.
From Boya.
See, there's something I want to say.
Briefly.
We must not depend on the government.
Okay.
We should be able to. It's not the government.
We're
We should
giving
be
our
able to.
resources to the government for the government to give
When
us
you
a
say
deserved
you want to say
service.
you want to depend on the government, that's where
All
the
right.
problem comes from.
Bro.
I know
Thank
people
you.
who have been teachers who have resigned and they are bike riders today.
But
And
we
they
are working
especially
to give
better
our
than
resources
when they
to
were
the
teachers.
government.
Structure.
For the government in return
All
to
right.
give us a deserved
the law.
service
Let the
for each
Yes,
Cameroon to
yes.
feel
Thank you.
comfortable in
Mr.
his township.
Tilan, thank you. We're going to go over to Boya, where the Garden of Eden Naturopathic Institute of West Africa, Geneva. His healer, Dr. Richard Fu, is proposing for his viewers this afternoon men's solution. And of course, his healer, Dr. Richard Fu, is the producer of this program, says that if you have low sperm count, if you have issues with libido and other sexual weakness, this is, of course, men's solution for you. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to touch our topic 2 for today, which has got to do with roadside eateries. Is it a danger for Cameroonians? Stay with us.
Men's Solution is a special product that Geneva has produced to help solve so many problems in men. Men's Solution contains extracts from more than 105 plants that have been produced to work in a holistic way in healing men, starting from mental, go to emotional, physical and spiritual problems or disequilibriums that usually lead to sexual weaknesses, low sperm count, strokes, diabetes, and so many diseases that plague men. So Men's Solution has been produced to handle the root causes of problems that generate to so many disabilities or shortcomings in men, and that always tailor within the third leg. So Men's Solution is a special product that is recommended for every man, whether you have a health problem or not. You need Men's Solution, because you don't only, intelligent people don't only take their car to the garage because it has problem, they always go to service it. Men's Solution is good for prevention and for cure. So if you discover that you are beginning to lose your sexual anxiety, or your sexual strength is beginning to drop down, or you are suffering from premature ejaculation, or what they call sexual weakness, or you are suffering from anything that you know is affecting your third leg, affecting your sexual drive, or causing you to bring some problem at home, you know, you people understand what I mean. We recommend Men's Solution. main solution has been existing for more than 3 years now, and it has stood the test of time. It is one of Genua's highest consumed products. People consume and recommend to their friends, their relatives, and so on. So I advise every man to have your main solution. Even women. Yes, I'm so happy because everywhere women even buy and give to their partners. Even women can buy this or get this and give to your partner. I recommend this for everybody. Women, buy it or get it for your partners. You can even get it and give to somebody as a gift. So you must not only give to your partner. You can get main solution and you want to visit somebody, you pack and give. The person will appreciate it more than any gift that you will give.
Genua is proposing to his viewers this afternoon men's solution. Men's solution, of course, is in all the centers of Genua, all over the National Triangle and beyond. Go get it in case you have low sperm count. Away from that, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be looking at roadside eateries, and we're asking the question whether it's a risk for consumers. Of course, all of us saw a video that went this week. Mr. Dylan Quine, I'll start with you. I'm sure you watched the video that went on social media where a lady was presented to the public that was in Yaoundé because she used to urinate and put in her soup known as okok and save to customers. But in an interview granted to colleagues in the central region in Yaoundé, the lady says that it was not meant for the public and that she was doing it for her husband. But that is not my focus. My focus is roadside food a danger for Cameroonians? Because what she did is just one of the so many other hidden faces that were yet to come true.
Yeah, thank you. The question seems to be an important question because what we eat depend. I mean, the way we take care of our health depends also on what we eat. And in Cameroon, we have this facility to have people who offer themselves their services to provide food. I mean, to cook food for those who are going out for their various jobs and activities. So that's the positive side of road eateries. So I will not start by saying that it's something to be condemned, but the problem here is actually the society itself. How do we appreciate the roadside eateries? What importance are we giving to those people who are providing those food? That's where the question is. Somebody may feel hunger and he wants to eat. At times he will not ask himself certain questions. What he feels at that moment is actually to satisfy himself. At times people are having their restaurants, I can say, beside where actually a normal, reasonable person cannot sit in those places and eat. But the society have been such a way that it's like there's a syndrome of, how would I put it, of no concern.
Okay.
There's no concern actually. What is more important is to satisfy your hunger and feel comfortable. So we have never really taken time to question, to ask ourselves certain questions about how this food has been done, what are the conditions, the hygienic conditions, and all the like. So with the thorough conditions, because the lady who was interviewed, she said before they arrested her, there was some view that was they were saying that it's due to difficult conditions of life. Like she's doing it because she wants to round up one or two issues. So you see, those things can
also play a role.
Can play a lot to see how people are. It's not only the urine inside the cup. There are so many things that
other things
you have
that
to
are
focus,
happening.
put a focus on them. Somebody may not have that anxiety to eat on the roadside.
For me, Samuel Fanka will once say that the economic situation of Cameroonians have reduced many Cameroonians to resort to whatever they can pick and put in their mouths. irrespective of where they are, because of course big people, civil servants, and maybe ministers, parliamentarians, governors, and what have you, they will hardly get roadside food. Would one say that the economic situation of the country has put Cameroonians in a situation where even if they can buy food beside a toilet or beside a urinary, or irrespective of where the food is sold, all they need is that their stomach should be filled?
Prince Mukage, my co-panelist, that is very true. Okay. Because when you see, they have been, when we are talking of this regime, you go far back counting, they immediately they did reduction of salaries twice, and I've not heard when they have added again. And since then, families have been suffering a lot. So it's something that our economic situation in Cameroon is too bad, and that we need economists to come out with robust strategies and elevate us from there, boost the economy. When we look at what goes around, people trek mice at times because they want to keep 200 or 300 to eat at their job sites. You see, with that such amount, you can't enter a good restaurant.
Meet your contract on the way and pop off.
Yes,
you just
and just put in your mouth. And the condition that where they are selling it is a type, because they are not controllers. They are not sanitary officers who come around and begin to check whether the situation is how is it. They are not licensed roadside eateries. They know that they go out and begin to check. Okay, do you have a license, or do you have this? They don't control anything. You see that places are so dirty, and all these things, they cause a lot of harm. We know most illnesses we have today start from the stomach.
Of course,
people go to even to certain occasions at time you eat, and you will do the mixture. When you come back, you cannot sleep. You are going out time and time again, or you see you are feeling very very unconscious. So meaning that anything that concerns food is a sector that we would have make it very well that those who are selling food, even at the roadside eateries, they should be licensed and controlled, because the poor hygienic nature causes a lot of citizens to be ill.
Mr. You want to read
and the government
what he said?
Want to react? The government is doomed on that sector.
When my brother was speaking, I was just laughing.
Okay.
Your personal hygiene has nothing to do with the government. Nothing.
They should control.
I don't think that if I live from here and I'm the one to make a choice where I want to eat. We talk about economic situation as if everything we just blame it on the government. I'm just from Granga now. Before I leave there, I left that place and was coming here. There are people there who have already consumed more than five beer.
5 bottles of
5 bottles of beer, which is almost like 4,000.
At the end, they blame the CPDM.
At the end, they will blame the government. You see somebody who is in the off-license, he has bought beer for maybe 4,000, and he will go out and buy pop for 200 in a very dirty area to come and eat.
It's dirty.
It's dirty. Good. Why should I buy beer for 4,000 and I go and eat in a dirty place and blame the government? I should keep the money and go to a standard restaurant and eat. And that's why I'm saying that we should not just say everything that is government is government.
What
is
good is that you accepted that there are dirty places.
There are dirty places.
Why is it that government is allowing those places? That's the problem. They should.
I don't think that you expect President Pobia to come to your house.
I'm not saying President Pobia.
I'm not saying you expect the government to come to your compound and clean your floor.
Decentralization will do us much good than the centralized power.
If you go to Granga here, you will see that they have put a place where people can come and throw dirt. But when people come, they throw it on the ground. There are structures, government has tried, like street lights. Some people have gone and said, destroy it because now government property. People feel that anything that is government should not be well catered for. People feel that government should do everything for them. Government feel that government should even come to their homes and clean their homes. Okay. No. We have the headquarters. In various, we have chef de quartier in Douala here. What is stopping them from going around their quarter and say that, okay, madam, where you are selling food is not conducive?
Yes.
Clean the environment. Must we wait that government should come and do it? Who is the government?
He's auxiliary of the
government. Who is the government? Yes.
He's auxiliary. Therefore,
who is the man elected by the Quatana? If you people elect somebody in the Quata that is not doing anything, then why are you blaming President Pobia or blaming the government?
Government is also.
The economic situation. When you look at the situation of food that is sold along the roadside eateries, You think it's a wonderful risk for Cameroonians? The lady is just one of them. We remember there have been stories of ladies a lady in Yaoundé again who used to use human flesh to cook arrow.
Yes, I think that concerning this same topic, that comes concerning food entries along the roadside. In fact, when you look at the economic situation of the country, you are going to discover that to an extent, eating along the roadside is a bit normal as compared to when you want to cook food in a normal house. And we are going to also see that there are some of these women that are cooking along the street. That at times when you look at them, just
physically, physical hygiene.
Yes, when you look at them physically, in fact, just tasting their food is going to be something else.
Okay.
And to an extent, you know that hunger is something natural. It doesn't know whether you are poor or you are rich.
You are rich.
When you want to count, it comes at times so brutal. Okay. In such a way that you say, well, okay, this is not where I used to eat. Let me just taste it. But by tasting, you don't know that you are putting yourself into danger. Okay. And then just say that road entries. Even in most of these high-ranking restaurants, we can't say that they are perfect, because there are some of those atrocities that are being carried out in those type of places that if you can view some of them, okay, they will ask you to eat. Maybe in some of those restaurants you refuse.
Let me just come. When you go to
just 3 minutes.
When you go to places like Bamenda and Boya, we don't have these situations. Why? Because the Anglophone, they are conscious. If you are selling food in Boya, where the environment is dirty, nobody will buy. No. You are selling food in Bamenda, where the environment is dirty, nobody will buy. So it's a matter of making a choice.
Cameroon is not two regions.
As of now,
people should be conscious. People of Boya and Bamenda, they are conscious.
The other regions should borrow from them. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
The problem there, as of now, we are using with that philosophy of generalization. It's not an issue of Anglophone, Bamenda and Boya.
Thank you. Let's take this last caller and we're done. We'll come back. We'll get the last words from you. Hello?
Yes, hello. Good afternoon once more.
Thank you, sir. Thank you immensely for following up right to the end. Let's get your point quickly.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Let me just give a brief. You know, in Boya, one of the main business in Boya that make quick dinner by have cook food, drinks, and ladies fashion.
Okay.
So now, you rent tenancy, because those are the main business that they have first time in Boya. As concerned the restaurants, you know, Boya Council, they come out with a team, that's sanitation department.
Okay.
They go around all over,
to check.
Backside, check sitting for toilet and how the condition is. And then if you are a woman or a man cooking food in a restaurant, you have to obtain a certificate. That's, how do they call it?
License.
From the hospital, medical.
Yeah. To show they are medically fit to cook.
Good, to run a restaurant.
All right.
You have to present that document first before running a restaurant.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Kwaitilan,
I believe that
we are done. Thank you immensely. Your last word, and thank you for coming.
Yeah, I believe that with the next regime, they will be restored back inside our education. What they
okay,
call
when Paul Biya leaves.
Moral and civic education. Because all these things lies on moral and civic education.
So be
it the sellers or the people buying from the food. You see, if Cameroonians were morally and have this citizen education, so many things would have been done. But unfortunately, the present regime has made Cameroonians to live like pigs, like animals, and this is where we are.
Mr. Moudenis, thank you immensely for taking time to come be our guest there. We look forward to having you again. Your last words, and thank you for coming, brother.
Yes, my co-panelists, my brother, Prince Joel Mukanje, thanks so much for inviting me here. I think this is my first time of participating in this Saturday show, hoping that by God's grace, we're going to stick together, and thanks the
entire community. Special greetings to all those who are watching in from Fuka, most particularly to Senator John Wanlo Chioma.
Senator John Wanlo John, one of the icons in Cameroon when it comes to politics. Okay. Philip Way, Lord Mayor from Fuka Council, all my friends here in the Walla, the Boom community in general, and some of my women friends.
Who should be watching?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you immensely, Mr. Kim Bang Vitalis, even the viewers are not so okay with the way your party is ruling Cameroon.
They might not be okay, but I'm presenting the reality. Thank God that our viewer, the man
who called,
Doctor who from Boya, has given us an example of how people should behave.
Yes.
I'm sure the CPDM, the council in Boya is run by the CPDM. That's how people should do things. If you don't do things with love, I think we are just wasting our time. So I want to thank the elites of Donga Mantum for the wonderful revolution, the
That are
voluntary
doing.
revolution that's going on there. That at least we should continue to be peace-loving and move our country ahead.
Of course, I was there last week, and I came just this week to say that from Kumbu to Ndu, it is the Bones Company, the whole of Cambe's Mark, and the whole of Mr. J is Bofas. Congratulations to the elite of that area for doing a wonderful job. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, what I would say here is that
We don't have much time, sir.
yes, people out there, Cameroonians out there, please go and register and make sure you collect your voter's card. And if you are working somewhere and you are transferred, please go with your card and you shall obtain voters, that's polling station transfer to where you are presently. So please, Cameroonians, this is a time to talk through confrontation through the ballot boxes, not argument, agitations. We should calm down and behave maturely, responsible, and receive your civic education from ISCC and other civil society organizations.
Thank you immensely, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all of you gentlemen for making it up on this week's edition of the program. And of course, the program was produced by Amy Fozon. And of course, we received technical assistance from Lafon Yvette and Francois Ekume. Prince Mokage Joel is my name. This program will be rebroadcast tomorrow at exactly 2:30 to 4 p.m. And of course, next week, God willing, on Saturday, we shall be coming up with a fresher topic to zoom into what may have caught the attention of pressmen and women in the country. Until we come your way again, we thank all those who've watched the program, and most particularly to all the callers and those who send text messages. Keep watching Home TV, and don't forget that Cameroon is ours, and Cameroon will always remain ours. Good afternoon.